Could Ryan Reynolds' beloved comedic persona be a carefully constructed smokescreen? New evidence has surfaced, suggesting a ruthlessly ambitious side, one that allegedly engaged in behind-the-scenes maneuvers that ultimately led to his shocking dismissal from Marvel Studios. How could such a popular star, seemingly untouchable, find himself exiled from the world's biggest cinematic universe?
I just kind of cast it as, oh, he's losing his marbles. Had I known, I think I would have handled it better. I think I would have been a much more patient person. I think my father would have felt way less alone.
It all began with Justin Baldoni, a filmmaker celebrated for his emotionally resonant stories, embarking on a film adaptation of a cherished novel. Blake Lively, known for her warmth and red carpet poise, was cast in the lead. On the surface, it appeared a perfect match, a collaboration poised to create movie magic. There was genuine optimism. People genuinely expected something inspiring. But beneath the glittering veneer, hairline cracks started appearing. Whispers circulated about Blake Lively's growing frustration with Justin Baldoni's multiple roles as director, writer, and surprisingly, even one of the lead actors. Reports began to circulate on the studio lot. Rumors intensified about potential power plays, suggesting Lively sought to steer the project in directions beyond her initial agreement. The perfect collaboration seemed to be unraveling at the seams.
And bringing it to the big screen, how did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really reach in and touch somebody's heart.
Then came the accusations, delivered with stunning precision. Blake Lively publicly accused Justin Baldoni of masterminding damaging leaks to the press, portraying her as demanding, difficult to work with, even temperamental. Headlines blasted about an overbearing director eclipsing a star who simply sought to have her voice heard. Initially, the media sided overwhelmingly with Lively, who seemed to position Baldoni, very publicly, as the villain in the process.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. That's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part.
But the narrative was about to be flipped on its head. Justin Baldoni released a series of text messages, digital receipts that would rewrite the entire narrative. These were not casual exchanges. They were time-stamped communications revealing a drastically different story about Lively's actions. The messages showed her making her own demands while freely referencing her husband's considerable industry network. And while a lot of things were said, it certainly wasn't what people originally believed.
I mean, I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yeah.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blasé.
It's believing that people and humanity are inherently good. And they crave nutritious food in their soul, just as they do in their bodies.
The logs indicated she was determined to control script rewrites, dictate marketing angles, and even shape public perception. This revelation cast doubt on her earlier claim of feeling oppressed, suggesting instead that she exerted a great deal of influence behind the scenes. All things considered, it appeared she was really exerting a great deal of influence. But the most shocking discovery was yet to come.
And being frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was willing to at least listen to them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we need to embrace all of the parts of us that make us human. That's it.
It is.
It's very simple.
The text messages hinted at Ryan Reynolds' direct involvement, suggesting he wasn't just a supportive husband, but a strategic player participating in a concerted campaign. References to private calls with influential contacts, ideas about how to leak unfavorable tidbits about Baldoni, and even proposed spin tactics to recast Blake as the misunderstood hero. These were not the moves of a passive bystander. He wasn't a bystander at all. Was this simply a case of a husband protecting his wife, or something far more calculated and strategic? As word spread, Marvel executives reportedly grew deeply concerned. Ryan Reynolds had become a linchpin in Marvel's expansive plans, but the possibility that he was actively involved in disruptive, ethically questionable maneuvering triggered urgent meetings at the highest levels. How could Marvel possibly support such a central performer while evidence of unethical conduct mounted? Something had to be done. The entertainment industry has weathered countless scandals involving marquee names, but the stakes here were uniquely high. The final decision, one nobody could have predicted, was for Marvel to let Ryan Reynolds go. The official statement, notably curt and direct, cited a review of newly disclosed information and deemed Reynolds' position no longer tenable. It sent shockwaves through Hollywood and left fans reeling.
She said, just read it, because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, I got snot coming out of my nose.
In the aftermath, Blake Lively largely vanished from public view. The media, of course, went wild. Her once prolific social media presence almost disappeared overnight. Industry insiders whispered about the potential damage to Ryan Reynolds' carefully curated image. Could he recover from such a significant blow? Opinions remain sharply divided. The scandal serves as a stark reminder. In an era of comprehensive documentation, no one is immune to evidence that contradicts carefully cultivated public personas. For Ryan Reynolds, the very public dismissal from Marvel marks a turning point. As Hollywood scrambles for explanations, it's forced to reevaluate long-held assumptions about power, allegiances, and the fragile foundations upon which stardom is built. What happens now could shape how the entertainment industry navigates similar issues moving forward.